Everybody, and welcome to another video of Off the Bat Baseball. Now, today we're going to be playing OOTP, and for those of you who are not too familiar with this game, it's a realistic baseball sim where you control your team, you take care of like a roster, and you could be the GM or the manager. And today, I'm going to be showing you all um, how to manage your team well, like in a game. Now I'm using the Cincinnati Reds. I modified the team a lot. You could see the roster has Ken Giles in it and Nolan Arenado, so it isn't exactly the Cincinnati Reds that are right now, like current day. And it's 2022, April 25th in my simulation. Um, but I'll just show you so you get the gist of how to manage your team. So I'm going to play this game against Chicago, and yeah, we're just going to wait for it to load up. Alright, so you could see here that I'm using Darvish as my pitcher, who's 3.5 stars right now, 35 years old, and here's my lineup. Now here you look at the game options. You could obviously this is challenge mode, so the designated hitter is off as this is a National League team, so you can't mess with that in this game mode. But you could turn off the warm-up rule if you want, which is basically you have to warm up a pitcher before you start. I just put it on because it's more realistic that way, but if you like to turn it off because you find it annoying, then go ahead and do that. There's auto set relievers, initial defense, and more settings about the field view and how but I have pretty much everything on default. Now, if you go to Head Scout over here, you see I'm on OSA ratings. If you go to Head Scout, you could see what your Head Scout thinks of the players and the ratings. So you could see this player, Nico Horner, is a 3.5 star according to my Head Scout, but according to OSA, he's only a 3 star. So you could look at both of those to really gauge how good you think your players are. And over here, you could see which team has the better matchup. So for the pitchers, the OSA ratings have the the Chicago Cubs pitcher Darvish as a better matchup over Tyler Mayo, who's my pitcher. So we're going to start the game, and I'll show you how to really get into editing. Sorry, I'll show you how to get into really getting your team to win on lots of different strategies when you're playing the game. So start off we're the home team right here. You can see Chicago's at the top, which means that they are the away team. So over here, quick play, we'll just sim to the next at bat, runner in scoring position, half inning, or you could just sim to whatever inning you want, or sim the full game. And then there's all these controls here. Some of them are unavailable because you could only use them when someone's on base. But over here, I could pitch, which is just pitch normally, pitch around, pitch to count, which means really take the count and possibly end up in a full count and try to battle there. You could intentionally walk a player. You could hit the batter, especially if they're the Astros. And you could visit mound, maybe put another pitcher in and see how your pitcher's feeling. You could press space and it'll just go to the next at bat. So I'm going to press space here, and Nico Horner is going to be the batter, and we'll see what happens. So you see the play-by-play up here. It's a pretty cool feature, and we're going to see how the pitching goes. So you see he popped it up on the fourth pitch. It was a 1-2 count. You could see up here that it was 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now there's 1 out. So I click my space key to continue. Now, Jose Iglesias, he has 45 contact and 35 power. It's out of 80. If I feel like this is, if I should pitch the count, maybe try to get something going with a close play here, I'm gonna, click that. So let's see what happens. Now it's an 0-0 count, and he grounds out. So, really thinking ahead on the count there. And then, but although he did foul it off on the first pitch, sorry, not foul off, but ground out on the first pitch. I'm just going to pitch to Dominic Smith, who's 55 contact, 55 power. Hopefully he does a good job against him. It's 2-0 count. And he pops it up into center field. So that was a successful pitching half inning. So now, as I press space, we're going to the batters section. So you see like all the batter settings that you could do here, the controls. A lot of these you could only do with a runner on base, just like you can with the pitching. So swing away just means, do your thing. Take pitch. It'll go pitch by pitch for you, and you're going to have to decide, do I take this pitch either way, even if it's a strike, or you could bunt for a hit in this situation because there's no one on base to sacrifice for. So I have Stuart Fairchild, who is not a great hitter. So just to show you guys, let's try to bunt for a hit and see how he does. Although first I want to look at his speed to see if he is a player that you would want to bunt for a hit. Now he has 55 speed, which is pretty decent. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so I'm going to press bunt for a hit or number 3, whichever one you want. And he bunts it out there. Rolls, and he was out. Not by much though. And just to show you guys, that's how it works there. And next up, we got Brendan Rodgers. You see, he's a 3-star, 25 years old. He's hitting .299 on the season. So I'm just going to swing away. He looks like a great player picked up for my team. So there we go. He pops it up into left field, and that's going to be an out there. But you understand that that's how it works. Now, Arenado's been hot for me. He's a great hitter, obviously, superstar in the league. This is 2022, so he's older now. And let's swing away and see how he does. Oh, he strikes out there. But you see how the innings go. Now, let's say I was unhappy with the pitching and I wanted to put a reliever in. I would go to, as your strongest pitcher who might have lower stamina. I have Austin Adams there. Now Ken Giles is using him setup, and setup's basically the 7th or 8th inning guys that set it up for the closers and try to keep the ball game. Now middle relief is just they come in maybe the 5th or 6th inning and get you a couple innings, and then the long relief is if your starting pitcher doesn't do a great job, and you have to put them in for the starting pitcher. Now you see, this is just shows you right here how tired or energetic they are. So my closer is 94% energy, so I'm sure that he'll be pitching fine. But if I have a guy like Joel here at 41%, I'm not going to put him in because he's obviously too tired to pitch well. So let's say I want to warm up Raziel Iglesias. I warm up here. Click warm up, and you'll see in the pen he's cold. So as I pitch, he's going to start warming up. So every at bat he'll get warmer and warmer until I'm able to put him in the game. So there's a strikeout for Mail, and now you see right here he's warming up, the right-handed pitcher. I'm just pressing space, going through it, and hopefully we get out of this inning. Now if we don't, I might put in the pitcher. Now usually it's a second inning, so usually we don't put the other pitcher till like a bit later, like at least the 6th or 7th inning. But I mean, I just want to show you guys how it works, so I'm gonna put him in early. Well, there's a double right there from Boat, so the inning's gonna continue for a bit. We have Victor Caratini here, and he's going to pop it up into center field. Will it be caught, or does it keep carrying? It's caught. So that's the end of the inning, still 0-0. And as we go to the bottom of the second, if I want to just skip this, I could show you Iglesias is ready. So when I go into the next inning, there's going to be a plus symbol right there, and I'll be able to put him into the game. So I'm going to go half inning sim, and look, I scored. Now if I want to know how I scored, I'm going to go to game log, and I'm going to look, I'm going to scroll down, and you could see that there was a double from Josh Van Meter, and then Carlos Correa scored from after going to third, and that was on a foul ball. Sorry, that was on a ground into double play. So he did a sacrifice double play. So as you could see, Iglesias is tiring because he went like an entire inning without going inside the game. You could sit them down if you want to make them less tired, but either way, I'm just going to show you. So you press the plus button, and you could insert. Now before I insert, also you could go to the visit mound button right here, or you could press B, and it's going to show you how your pitcher feels. So he says, "I'm perfectly fine, let me pitch," and it shows you how the pitchers in your bullpen are doing. Now, just for the video right here, I'm going to change the picture, and right here it shows the bullpen in the screen. So I'm going to put Raisel Iglesias here. So I'm going to sim this half inning to show you a couple more things on the offense. So you see, now we're in the bottom of the third, and the batter is Stuart Fairchild, he's a decent hitter, but he's not great. So let's say I was in like a really close situation at the end of the game, and I really needed a big hit. Now here's how you go to pinch hit. So you go up here to Cincinnati substitutions, and you go right here, and you see all these white players. So the white writing, players with the white writing here. You could scroll up. Those are the players that are not in the game that are available to pinch hit for you. So you see Yasiel Puig is probably my best hitter that's not in the game. 3-star right fielder. So if I want to replace Stuart Fairchild with Yasiel Puig, I just drag him on here. Click yes, and now Yasiel Puig is my pinch hitter. Now you can see Yasiel only plays right field, so if I do put him in at center field to literally replace the player that was there before, Fairchild, then that's not very good defensively. But just to show you, that's how you put in a pinch hitter if you need a clutch situation or you want to favor a matchup. So you see Puig, and that looks like a foul out right there. Pop fly in the foul ground, and he's out. Just so you understand that's how it works. Now I'm just going to sim to the very end of the game, go to entire game, and you finish simulating, and it'll show me the results. Sorry, it's lagging a bit. Here, finish simulating the game. And as you can see, the Cubs come up short at Cincinnati. Gives you a little recap here. Game was 5-4. Chicago had 9 hits, I had 8, and there were no errors in the game. Now this shows you the probability of winning for each team. You know, Cincinnati pretty much had control the entire game, and it shows you some of the highlights there. You could edit recap if you want, if you care about the recap, or you could save the replay. Now, if you go down here, it'll show you the game notes, like injuries and stuff at the bottom, but there's no injuries here. Show you the temperature, the wind, the player of the game. The time was 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's how long it took to play the game, and there's the attendance at 34,314 people attending the game at Great American Ballpark. You could go to the substitutions areas, game action to look at how the ballpark is, and you could also go to game log to look again at everything that went on throughout the game. There's network, which will show you how the other games are going live in the league, in the fictional league. So you see Kansas City and Toronto are playing, and Toronto's up 5-3 in the top of the 8th. It's the middle of the 7th inning, and Atlanta is leading the Milwaukee Brewers 3-1. And you could look at all these scoring updates and top performers down here. So now I'm going to click Leave Game. And as you can see, we won against Chicago. I could click this check mark right here to autoplay until tomorrow. And I have a player who needs to be activated from the injuries list. Now, my active roster is completely full, which means that in order to do that, I would need to take a player out, whether it be designate for assignment or send him down to the minor leagues because I don't have room for him. That's for another video. Thank you for watching this video on how to manage your team in a game. Really appreciate you coming to spend the time here. And if you have any suggestions for any new videos, please feel free to ask in the comments. Goodbye.